All right, guys, welcome back to the Real South Africa. We have a young lady here who's a businesswoman traveling in South Africa, and we're having a conversation about South Africa and her experience. So, hey, she wants to share it. We're going to share it with you. South Africa is amazing. Like and subscribe. Hey guys, this is Mark Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. I'm stuck in this room. I've been trying to escape for a minute, but for some odd reason, I just cannot leave. But anyway, hope everybody's doing well, and of course, you guys are going to like and subscribe to our channel. And yes, I'm still doing tourism big time here in South Africa. And you know what? I happen to have a cellmate in this room with me, and she's going to tell her amazing story. She's third or fourth time here in South Africa, but now she's reached out to me, and we're going to see how this turns out. Let her introduce herself. There she goes.
Hi, fam.
There's Ree.
So I am Maria Lloyd, the author of a book titled Words Are Wealth, the CEO and founder of a marketing firm named Opens Clicks Cash, and chief marketing officer of an influencer brand named Black with No Chaser.
I thought you was nervous.
I am.
Oh, okay. Y'all, she's so nervous. She's so nervous. She's so nervous.
Stop rocking.
Yeah, but we're gonna get through this.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so now you said you've been here a few times.
I have. So this is my fourth visit. This is the longest of all 4 visits. The first time I came was in 2015. It was for business. The second time I came was in 2017. The third time was last year in 2024. And now here we are, the 4th time, 2025. And this stay was will be for a month.
Okay, now I guess the 4th time is the charm?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so, yeah. I know so.
Yeah. Because you told me some stuff.
I did, yes. So the first time I came here, honestly, I fell in love with it. That was in 2015. It's really an indescribable feeling, but I'm going to try my best to describe it. So when I got off the plane, I literally looked down at my feet because I felt like I was levitating. Mm-hmm. And it's like everywhere I looked, I saw people that looked like me. And when you're raised in a country where the majority of the population does not look like you, and you're constantly feeling small in every room that you enter, being able to come into an entire country where everybody looks like you for the most part, it just does something to you. It definitely does something to your psyche, and I just got hooked. Like the moment that we touched down, I mean, before I had even seen anything outside of the airport, I already was like, I'm home. Like, this is home for me. So I thought it was a fluke. I came back in 2017, wasn't a fluke. Once again, got off the plane, felt like I was levitating. It was just a vibe. Like, I just felt like I was at home. Same thing last year, 2024. Yeah. Came, got off the plane, was like, I'm home. And now fast forward to now, same thing. That feeling, it has yet to escape. I definitely feel like I'm home. So even more so than when I'm actually home in the States. So yeah, man, I love this place.
Okay, now you did tell me you're from a few places.
True.
Do you want to share, or do you want to disclose?
Sure. So the Fam Bam is from Chicago, which is also where my roots began, Chicago. But I was raised in Mississippi. So I represent both. Whenever I travel, I just kind of tell people, like, I'm from both. I'm from Chicago and Mississippi. And for people who are familiar with that great migration that occurred during my grandparents' era, you know that Mississippi and Chicago are basically the same thing. The Midwest and the South, we all have that connection. So yeah, I claim both.
Okay. So this migration that she's talking about, guys, it's incredible. It's a good time for our folks, because a lot of people went out west for greener pastures, and then a lot of people left the South. For you South Africans, Mississippi is in the South, and that went up north. So of course, in the summertime, somehow those I'm gonna say the country people from the South were going up north and looking at the big buildings and looking at the city and whatnot. So I can only imagine. I bet those were fun times, and of course, she's a product of that.
I definitely am, and now I think the new migration is here.
Oh.
I think that as we get more access to knowledge, Black Americans are starting to accept and understand that a lot of what we've been fed about countries like South Africa, or I'll just say specifically what we've been fed about the continent of Africa in general, is a lie. And what we've been fed about the US being the greatest country in the world, I'm not gonna say that that's not true because I do believe that that's true for some people. That's not true for me. And I don't think that that's true for a lot of people that look like me. And one of the things that I absolutely respect about here is whenever you talk to a native South African, especially a Black South African, they literally say to you, I love my country. And, you know, it makes me a little sad because I don't have that feeling at all. There is nothing in me that feels emotionally connected to the US. I cannot say that. I can't. Again, maybe someone, I'm sure there are people who feel that way, who really love the US. And I say that's amazing for you, but I have never felt that. Even as a small child, being the product of a man who was sentenced to life in prison as a first-time nonviolent drug offender, I've always kind of not felt like I belonged. So I really love being here where the people are genuinely proud of being South African, and they really do love their country, and you can tell that they love their country. It's exuded in the way in which they highlight their culture. It's exuded in the way in which this country is the most developed nation in the entire continent of Africa. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think it's because, again, these people really love their nation and they take great care of it. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is the new move. I think that a lot more of us Black Americans are waking up, and what we know and understand about life really is confined to our experience in the United States. But once you leave and you realize that there are, you know, your quality of life can exponentially go up, yeah, it gets hard to justify staying in the States. It's just hard. I can't justify it anymore.
Fair enough. And you know, the good part about it is I think a lot of us do have options. We do have options. We might not want to exercise it. Obviously, it comes with getting a passport. Got to get a passport. You know, I know, how much is a passport now? 75, 80 bucks?
Oh, no. It's way more than that.
It's way more than that now?
130 to 165.
Okay, yeah. You know, it's not the cheapest thing in the world. Right. You can get a, what's that driver's license everybody got to have now?
The real ID.
The real ID and stuff like that. And I get it, but this passport is going to give you access to things, to knowledge and locations and things that you never even dreamed about. And yeah, you can try to do your research, you know, make your own assignment, do the research, grade your own paper, do whatever you want. You know, obviously you're going to get an A, but that doesn't mean just because you got an A on your own paper that you graded that you know about South Africa. It's a situation where you're going to have to come here, and that's the biggest reason why we set up our tourism company, to make it easy for those that are looking to come to South Africa, you know, to get here, because, you know, as Marie says, or Ree, as she says, you know, this might be the next move. This might be the next move. Just a few short years ago, she's a few years younger than me, but a few short years ago, everything was Atlanta.
That's so true.
Yeah, Atlanta.
And I graduated from Clark Atlanta University, so shout out to ATL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you think Atlanta is still the move, or?
So one thing I will say about Atlanta that I respect is that Mayor Andre Dickens has been very focused on making Atlanta the hub for international business. And I will honestly say he's doing an exceptional job when it comes to that. In fact, some of the business colleagues that I have here in Johannesburg are a direct result of initiatives that the Global Opportunities Committee for the Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce and the City of Atlanta have created, like events and things like that for international delegates. And I met some of those South African delegates at those events. So I will say Atlanta is I think it's a cool place to be in, especially if you want to get into international business from the US. Also, Atlanta has the busiest airport in the world, so personally, that's probably the only reason I would ever own something there, because I know I can quickly get in and out and go pretty much anywhere in the world from Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, I think it's cool if you want to stay in the U.S., but for me, I'm done. Now I'm done.
Well, I will say that Johannesburg is an international hub as well.
It sure is.
I think it's not like they have to do it intentionally. It just is what it is. Because you've been walking around here for a few days and you've seen a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Lots of people. And a lot of these people aren't from South Africa. They're here doing business.
That's true.
Kind of like yourself.
That's true. Very true. I mean, I think one of the things that impressed me, because I do spend a lot of time in Paris, France, and one thing that has impressed me is like the Francophone community here is very large. I was in the elevator at the hotel just yesterday, and it was a group of people speaking French in the elevator, and I was like, wow, this is great. Like I can still practice and listen to French even here in Johannesburg. But yeah, I mean, it's a very multicultural city, definitely business oriented. I mean, they don't know that you spoke to my people, but anyway, like you said previously in a separate interview, like here in Johannesburg, you come here, you can, get a business up and going. I mean, it's a move, it's a vibe. Yeah, it's like any other metropolitan city in the United States. You have all of your conveniences, Uber, if you want your food delivered, Uber Eats. I mean, there's nothing here that I can't get that I utilize or get back home. And in fact, in some regards, I do find that I get more here than I do because I'm in Mississippi, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, this place it's a vibe, and the nightlife is off the chain.
Whoa. See, we never talk about that because we don't want I got to bring the camera back. We don't want a lot of people having to have problems and stuff. But she's over there laughing, guys. Let me turn it back over there.
Oh my God.
Talk about this off the chainness.
Okay, so first of all, the music. It's just like it puts you in a trance. Like it really is soulful music. I don't even know what they're saying because I don't speak Zulu or any of the other local languages, but I mean, I can sing those lyrics word for word because it's a movement. And so for me, I'm not a club person. I don't go out like that.
And now all of a sudden you're not a club person.
No, I'm not. Seriously. But here though, it's different because like, honestly, back home, you hear about people getting shot up and stuff at the club. But here, Piano, the energy that the music gives, it's not that kind of energy. Like in the States, we're listening to lyrics that are glorifying killing people, glorifying popping drugs and stuff like that. Here, again, I don't know what they're saying. They might be saying that stuff, honestly. But it's something about the music where the energy is just not that dark, heavy energy. It's an uplifting, soulful, free kind of music and vibe. So yeah, I mean, I have found the nightlife here to be, very entertaining and drama free. No shootouts after the club. Of course, you have to be careful, especially as a woman. You don't want to leave drinks unattended and things like that. So you still have to practice caution, of course. But in terms of like some of the drama that we experience back in the States when you go out, it's not a thing here. So I do appreciate that.
I bet you do.
Not trying to come party, So yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty nice here. I like the Amapiano music, or just any South African music. You can hear it anywhere. You can be at a store.
Yes.
You'll hear it. You could be at a restaurant. You'll hear it. Unlike in the States, you got to like actually go to the club, the black club, the one around the corner that you got to stand in line to get into to hear the music you want to hear.
That's so true.
Here you hear it everywhere.
It is, yeah, that's so true. It's everywhere. So yeah, I mean, this place is a vibe. I think that to touch on what you said earlier about a passport, because I know we were talking about this off camera. For me, as someone who, like many Black Americans, unfortunately, we've endured our traumas and stuff like that living in the States. I think the biggest win for me that a passport has granted is being able to realize that this narrative that Blackness is hated everywhere is just not true at all. And there are two stories that stand out for me that really affirm that. One story is when I spent a month in Canada, and my host was taking me around to look at some of the mansions in the area. And this was like equivalent to like a Beverly Hills, for example. So just imagine two black people in this SUV driving real slow.
Looking at houses.
Hey,
that's a problem.
So I got very anxious and my heart started racing, and I kept looking at my host saying, you could drive a little faster. And of course, they're like, well, how are you gonna take pictures if I'm driving fast? And I'm like, I'm not taking no pictures. Are you crazy? I'm literally freaking out. And it got to the point where I started like literally panicking. I was like, they're gonna call the cops. And my host said, no, they're not. Nobody's gonna call the cops. We're not doing anything. I'm just taking you around to see some of the mansions. And so as we were like slowly creeping up to a stop sign, there was a house right in front of the stop sign, and there was a white gentleman out in the yard watering his plants. And I literally started panicking even more. I was like, he's gonna call the cops. Like he's been watching us, he's gonna call the cops. And literally when we stopped at the stop sign, that gentleman that was watering his plants, he stopped watering his plants, he put the hose down, he looked at us and gave us the most pleasant smile and waved. And it's like in that moment, I was like, I'm not in the US. Like this is not what that is. The second story is when I spent time in France. I was visiting Nice, France with a sorority sister, and the tour guide, when the tour ended, she took the white family that was with us on the tour to their hotel first. And I was perplexed by that, and honestly I was offended because it didn't make sense for her to drop them off first. It would have made sense for her to drop us off first based on her route to get back home. So she drops them off first. In my mind, I'm cursing her out. She don't even know how many names I done called her in my head because I'm so upset. Like, why you dropping off the white family first? Like, what you trying to? And when she, and so when the white family got out the van and she got back in with us, me and my sorority sister, who is obviously a Black American woman, she said, okay, my queens, I dropped them off first so I could spend more time with you. And I just sat back and I was like, wow, I just cursed this lady out in my head. Like I literally thought this lady was like a racist, you know what? And she was prioritizing the white family to basically let them know that they're more important than us, when in fact, she just wanted to spend more time with us.
All right, guys, I had to preempt that story. But we're gonna continue the story because I know it was intense. So I think she liked the lady anyway. Go for it.
Okay.
So if you remember.
Yes. Of course, you know, in my mind I had cursed the lady out, only to discover she actually wanted to spend more time with us. And so what those two stories affirmed to me is that like we bring a lot of our trauma from the US to these other countries, and the truth is you gotta drop that. Like when you leave the US, you have to remember you're literally not in the US, and so you have to leave yourself open to experiencing other cultures. I'm sure that there may be people that have insulted me since I've been here, or during my time in France, maybe somebody has insulted me, but I would never know because I don't even allow myself to be on edge like that. I purposely leave myself open to experiencing, you know, the culture in the new country. So yeah, get the passport, like seriously, because it's life-changing. Like you would realize, like a lot of the stuff that we've been fed, the narratives that we've been fed are just not true.
Okay. So now the cost of living here, I mean, or just from what you've seen, do you think our people, especially the ones that have retired and whatnot, you know, do you think they should come here?
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Tell the truth.
Yes. It's a very easy yes for me. Over here, you know, if you earn roughly 60,000 USD per year, you are about a millionaire.
Oh yeah, you're doing very well. You're doing very well for yourself.
So again, think about living in New York City but at a fraction of the cost. And we know New York City is very expensive.
Yeah.
But you're spending a fraction of the cost, and you're still, able to get all the conveniences. If you like your mani and your pedi, you can get plenty of mani and pedis here at a fraction of the cost that you would pay in the U.S. If you like to eat at fine dining restaurants, you like that kind of stuff, you can experience that at a fraction of the cost here. Anything that you want or need or you desire, you can get it here at a fraction of the cost. So I would say, yes, it is 100% worth looking into if you are living on a retirement or on a fixed income through retirement, or even if you have a career that enables you to work anywhere in the world and you're earning at least 45 to 60,000 and up, you should definitely look into moving over here. Because
I would say the quality of life here in South Africa is fairly high. Matter of fact, it's really high. I would say that, and you can access it. I know a lot of times people just pass by like, oh, I can't afford that, or I can't do that, or even when it's time to book your trip, oh yeah, I can't do that. But then we get people that come here and they're like, man, that trip is totally worth it. I've learned something. I've been able to see where I could land if I choose to. And I promise you, they're not going to tell you in the United States. They're going to keep that thing from you. They're not going to let you know when your boss is going to leave, and you're like, oh, I wonder where they went. And you think they went to Wisconsin? No, they came to South Africa. They probably did, because that plane is full, and you guys have heard that on many, many, many occasions. So all I can say is, guys, listen, there's levels to this thing, but as you see, Maria's been here about 4 times at least. Yeah, and you must come. And like I said, the puzzle pieces will start coming together and so forth. So what about women? You think women should come here?
I do. Full transparency, of course, as I mentioned off camera, I've been watching the news. I did see some data that was, very concerning to me in terms of, I don't want to say the word, but great rates going up. So, but anywhere you go as a woman, we all know that being a woman is very challenging. And so whether we're talking about Johannesburg or we're talking about Chicago or wherever, there are certain things that we have to do as women to protect ourselves. It's no different here, but I would absolutely recommend that as a woman, you come here, you explore the city. The people are extremely warm and friendly. The men, if you're interested in dating men, they are very charming. I definitely would suggest that women come here for sure. And again, you get all those same conveniences that you would in a proper metropolitan city like in the U.S. So if you like your manis and your pedis, you can get all of that.
Oh, you can get all that, yeah, that's crazy.
All day, every day. And it's, again, at a fraction of the cost. So, I strongly recommend that women come here for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, people, I would let you know that, again, y'all guys see me many, many, many times. South Africa is incredible, and I know people always, they want to ask. They want to ask a lot of questions, and then they never come. And then I see them, and they're in Mexico, and then they're in all these different places, and you should go enjoy them. But I promise you, when you are serious about your entire existence, when you come to South Africa, it's going to be it's going to be difficult to change. I put it to you like this: to unsee it. You won't be able to unsee it.
That's true.
That is the truth. So all I can say, guys, is I will see you in sunny South Africa. Hey everybody, this is Mark Blanton, and this is
Dr. Latasha Blanton from the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism.
And we have amazing packages to Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Durban. So we would like to see you guys here. All you have to do is just go to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and we'll make sure that your trip here is amazing.
See you here in sunny South Africa.
All right, guys, you see my friend back there? It's one of my South African buddies. We like to hang out and whatnot. So I think he's gonna break out of here and go home and whatnot. We just had a beer earlier, and he likes beer like me. He's a good guy. But yeah, he's like really like just right there. And yeah. Oh my God, this is so cool. Imagine a journey that awakens your soul. From Johannesburg's vibrant streets to Cape Town's breathtaking vistas, stand tall in Mandela Square, reflect at the Apartheid Museum, indulge in luxury hotels, and savor exquisite cuisine under starlit skies. This is the real South Africa. More than a vacation, it's the adventure of a lifetime. Book your dream trip at realsouthafrica.com and let your story take flight.
Imagine a place where your history comes alive and your future unfolds. Welcome to South Africa, where Black excellence meets natural wonder. From the vibrant streets of Johannesburg to the sun-kissed beaches of Durban, a journey of discovery awaits. The Real South Africa Travel and Tourism understands your journey. Because it's our journey too, we've curated experiences that speak to the Black American soul, ensuring your trip is not just a vacation, but a homecoming. From safaris that bring you face-to-face with majestic wildlife, to wine tours in the lush Cape winelands, we offer adventures that cater to every taste and interest. So why are Black Americans flocking to South Africa? Because here we don't just visit, we belong. Book your unforgettable journey today with the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. Discover your roots, embrace your future. The Real South Africa awaits.
to the Real South Africa Travel and Tourism. We are a travel company based in Johannesburg. However, we can get you to Durban because look at what you're looking at. Isn't that amazing? Can't you imagine yourself just hanging out here for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? I'm trying to tell you, you're probably not going to want to leave like a lot of our guests from the past. However, all you have to do to come here is reach out to our website, therealsouthafrica.com, and you can come and enjoy and see what South Africa is really about. There's so much here, so much to do between the beaches, between the culture, between the food and everything else. And of course, the people here in South Africa in this place called Durban. We will see you here in sunny South Africa.
For spending time with us today. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the notifications button so you don't miss out on all things The Real South Africa. Thanks again.